So, Jordan, I want to talk about Elon Musk joining Trump because got a lot of people talking, right? So what do you think about that? Because I'm a big fan of Elon Musk. Do you think this affects how people see him and his businesses?
Well, I hate Elon Musk. No, I love him. I absolutely, I'm a huge fan.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, first of all, thank God for the country that him and Vivek Ramaswamy have this Doge, right? Department of Government Efficiency. I couldn't think of two better people to do it. And it is so crucial that the U.S. gets hold of all the wasteful spending and overspending. You cannot keep doing what the U.S. is doing. We'll go bankrupt at some point. Yeah. What holds up the U.S. right now is that the dollar is the reserve currency for the world. So people have dollars all over the world, which allows us, okay, to do things that no other country can do, okay, because people want dollars. And that's a lot of it is based on military strength by the end of the day, the ability to project power, military and economic strength, but really the military is part of it too. That's the underlying threat about what happens if you try to move away from the dollar, right? But again, you know, I think that, listen, if Kamala Harris would have won, I think the United States was done.
I think Biden voted for Trump as well.
I think Biden definitely.
For sure.
He definitely voted for Trump.
Yeah,
he smiled too when he won. He smiled too much, right? But anyway, I think if she would have won, it would have been an absolute fucking disaster. And I think that Trump, you know, I always liked Trump. I used to talk a lot more about it publicly. And now Facebook and Instagram have lifted their guidelines. You could talk about this stuff again, which I think is great. And I think that this is a moment. It's like a period. It's a watershed moment for the world. That suddenly free speech is back in vogue again. Meta, and it's led by, again, Musk, who's amazing. By buying X, he saved the world, I think, by opening that up to real discourse. And now Meta has followed suit. Now you can talk about what you want without getting penalized. I've gotten penalized in the past for talking about things. I said, fuck it, I'll just stop it. It's not that important to me, but I'm going to start being more vocal again on Meta and on Instagram and Facebook. But I think that this is a combination of a couple things. Number one, it's Trump getting in there and igniting massive growth through lowering taxes, lowering energy costs, getting rid of all these fucking regulations that make it so hard to do anything in the United States, to build new homes, to drill for oil, to make telephone calls. You have this like administrative state that has made all of these rules and regulations, and the Supreme Court says it's not actually legal. They have to have been made past through Congress, right? So I think if you have Trump in there just slashing and burning all these agencies, you have Musk and Ramaswamy slashing and burning expenses. And I know they have to only make recommendations, but believe me, their recommendations will be followed, I'm sure. Okay. I think it's like this 1-2 punch of like massive growth, lowering expenses. It's like a rework. It's like a turnaround.
Sure.
You know what I'm saying? And then those two things together, I think the United States can soar. If we can start growing at 5% per year and bringing down our expenses, you know, we could be very quickly paying off that deficit.
Hopefully he can stop the war as well.
Yeah, well, I didn't even mention that. And of course, these wars, and not to mention all the money.
Which is something that Kamala wouldn't.
They want the wars. They want the wars. Okay, they want it. Okay, there's you know, you're from Italy. I don't know if you know much about the neoconservatives here. Like this is old. It's called neoconservatives. Like, you know, the way they basically, you know, this old doctrine. It's a very hawkish, meaning they want war and, you know, send money to these countries and support these proxy wars. And it's a disaster. It cost us a ton of money. And Trump is totally against that. And it never amounts to anything good. Okay. You know, Russia's not invading fucking Europe. They're just not, okay? And the whole thing is just idiotic, okay? So Trump gets in and ends all those wars, and I think he will very quickly. I think the world has a chance to really, to really get to new levels of productivity. AI is going to make a huge difference. I think there'll be big issues in the labor force because I think it's going to replace a lot of jobs. That's going to be a big issue, and we'll see what happens with that.